let's rip into it. Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing very nice. I'm sending a lot of hugs and positivity to all of you. Hi, if you're new, welcome to the channel. I really hope you enjoy the content, and if you do, please do consider subscribing. It's probably not been that long in the real world time, but in bookworm land, in the bookworm world, it has been ages since I have done this. In this video, I'm going to show you all of the books that I have received in the past few months. Let's begin the video. Let us start with the package that I just ripped open, because this is the only package I have, and I got these books today only in the morning. The first book we have is Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, which is the story of a man who I think wakes up in a different timeline from his own life. I have seen so many people read and adore this book, but I have always been scared of reading it because I think it falls under the sci-fi genre, and I am not a sci-fi reader. But this year I have been struggling a little bit to get a 5-star read or 6-star read, and so I want to expand my reading horizons and see if there are new genres out there that I can try. Sci-fi is one of them, and this is also classified as a thriller. So I was thinking to myself, what is a better combination than sci-fi, which is a new genre, combined with the thriller, which is my favorite genre? And the answer was nothing. So I got this book. This is what it looks like. I feel like the cover has no meaning to me right now, so I will appreciate it more once I'm done reading the book. Next is a very exciting book. I have The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. She is the author of the ACOTAR series, which I have been trying to read since quite some time, but I just don't get into it, so I've not finished it yet. Originally, I had told myself that I can only get this book once I finish the ACOTAR series, but I am planning on doing a video very soon, and yeah, that's just an excuse. I just really wanted this book, and I really want to read this entire series, the Throne of Glass series. This is just the first book. It's not actually the first book. There are different orders in which you can read the entire Throne of Glass series, and some people read it after the second book, some people read it after the third book, some people read it as the first book, and I am one of those people who is going to read it as the first book, because I think this is the compilation of novellas based on different characters in the entire series. Throne of Glass series is a huge series that it requires a lot of commitment. I just wanted to see if the characters are even worth it, if I would get attached to them at all, and so I decided that I'll read this book first, and if I like the characters, if I like the story even a little bit, then I'll get into the entire series and spend like 4,000 rupees on it. I'm just really praying to God that I enjoy this book so I can buy the entire series. I need to see that in my shelf, but I can't do that, you know. I can't spend that much money if I don't like the characters in the story. We have Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. I do not absolutely love the cover. I have seen prettier covers of this, but they're not available in India on Amazon or any other website. I have checked a lot. I don't know why I'm justifying it. I think I'm just justifying it to myself. That does not matter, because the story is so intriguing. This is the story of an astronaut who I think is left behind in space, all alone. That is all I know, and I'm not gonna read the back of it because I want to get into it blind. Another book that I got because I want to expand my horizons and read more sci-fi, and this is supposedly the best sci-fi book out there, this and The Martian. Next up, thank you so much Anjali, we have the Inheritance game series. I put a story of how I am so eager to read these books, but I've got a couple of other books, and so I did not have the budget at the time to get these books for myself. And Anjali very kindly, I'll put the link of her Instagram in the description, you can go check her out, said that, can I please send this to you? And I was like, oh my god, yes, thank you so much. And so she sent it to me, and I'm so grateful. These are the most beautiful books in the world. We have the Inheritance Games, the Hawthorne Legacy, and the Final Gambit. Now that I have them, I think they are literally gorgeous. The gold is popping out. It is beautiful in the golden hour. I sometimes just put it in front of the sun and see what it looks like, because it's so goldy and nice, and I love the covers. I love the story. I'm not gonna tell you about that. Once again, the next book. I have so many good books in this haul. We have The Reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson. Not just me, you guys too have been eager for me to read this book. So yes, I have a lot of excitement for myself that, oh, I'm gonna read this book, it's gonna be so much fun. But I also have a lot of collective excitement from you guys, because I've been getting comments on my previous videos. Oh, Anchal, Rachel Price just came out with a new book, when are you going to read it? Guys, I'm gonna read it so soon. For anybody, if you're new and you have no idea what I'm talking about, Holly Jackson is the author of the Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy, which I read last year, I think around this same time, and it quickly became one of my most favorite series ever. I have recommended it so much and you guys have read it and you guys have loved it so much. Anytime Holly Jackson comes out with a book, we all gasp. I love this cover. I just feel like this is so similar to the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series that I could keep it together and nobody would know that this is not part of the series. But it is a standalone, it is a YA thriller, and I would tell you more about the story, but I don't know anything and I don't want to know anything. I have been very consciously avoiding reviews and reading vlogs of this book because I want to go into it blind. I do not want to have any expectations whatsoever, and I can assure you that it will be in a video very soon. Next, I got one of the most beautiful book mail surprises of my life, and if you have watched a couple of my previous videos, you already know this book, but if you have not, if you are new, I love Emily Henry and I got the ARC, the advanced reviewing copy of her latest book, which is Funny Story. It is now already out, so if you want to go buy it and read it, you can. And if you want to see my reaction to the book, I will leave the link to the reading vlog in the description. You can go check it out. This is something beautiful that my brother does for me, which is when I'm sleeping and if the book mail has come early in the morning and I wake up late, he just puts the book mail on my bed. So when I wake up to it. Yes, kudos to itself. So I woke up and I saw this and I was not expecting it at all. I was not expecting any package at all and I was so surprised. And then when I opened it, I squealed. Now I can't wait to get the final copy too. Next, we have two books by the same author, and I have never read any books by this author, but I have been seeing both of these so much on my feed. I just wanted to see what the hype is about. We have The Discomfort of Evening by Lucas Rienevel. I'm really sorry if I'm pronouncing the name wrong. This is what it looks like. I think this is very popular. I think it is from the perspective of a 10-year-old and that attracts me to the book, but also I think it's a very dark book. Just something about reading a book that is from the perspective of a 10-year-old, but it is a dark book. I am so excited about it because I'm pretty sure the 10-year-old will have her own quirks and then she will look at everything around her from a different perspective than any adult would, and so I'm excited to read this one. Next one, we have My Heavenly Favorite, which is translated by Michelle Hutchison. This one is a complete experiment for me because this gave me strong Lolita vibes. I think a veterinarian becomes encaptured by a 14-year-old farmer's daughter, and I don't know what that is like, but that just gave me strong Lolita vibes. Not just that, one of my Bookstagram friends actually read this book and she told me, Anchal, just take your time. You know, you do not need to hurry into this because you need to be mentally prepared. If you're already subscribed to my channel since a very long time, since like 2-3 years at this point, then you will know that I have tried to read Lolita at least 5 to 6 times and I have just never gone beyond around 100 pages, and then I actually gave it away because I was never going to read it. Then I see this and I'm just like, maybe I will like this one. I'm excited to see how dark and twisted it can get, and I am really hoping that it's not utterly uncomfortable. Next, we have another new release. We have The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. I am so excited about this. Leigh Bardugo is the author of the Six of Crows duology, which I read last year and I am completely obsessed with it. I have recommended it a million times in almost every video. I'll be like, oh, you know what guys, it's bingeable. You know what guys, it's good for beginners in the fantasy world. You know what guys, it's my 6-star read. You know what guys, it's a good fantasy. Every video somehow that book fits because it's just so good. A historical fantasy, and I love that. I love historical fiction. I cannot believe I'm saying this because history when I was a kid was always a dreaded subject, and now as an adult I'm like, history, yeah. Pair that with fantasy, pair that with being a witch, pair that with Leigh Bardugo's writing. I am so excited to read this. Next, I have, I think, the most gorgeous book in the entire pile, The Book of Doors by Gareth Brown. This is the story of a book which will take you to any place you want to go to. But if it falls into the wrong hand, it's gonna be bad. It is surrounded around books, and I loved the writing style from page 1 to page 50. I only dropped it because it's not a thriller, and I'm doing a video and it did not fit into that. I cannot wait to actually get done with a couple of videos so I can read this alone without vlogging myself, just for my own pleasure, because I think it's a book like that you just want to enjoy and take in completely. Look at that gorgeous cover. There is nothing more gorgeous than this cover. And even on the inside, the spine is just amazing. I really just want to keep the book without the cover, because the spine just, I don't know, makes me feel like I'm a very fancy person. Next two books are also thrillers. We have The Paris Apartment and The Guest List by Lucy Foley. Lucy Foley is such a popular name in the thriller world, and I had never read any book by them, and so I decided to read these books. If you have read any of these books, let me know what you thought about them, and I'm really hoping that at least one of these books completely enamor me. Next, I have the ARC and the final copy of one book which quickly became a favorite of mine. As time is passing by, this book is just growing on me. We have The Other Valley by Scott Alexander Howard. This is what the final cover looks like, but I was more attracted to the book because of the cover when I got the ARC, because this is what the ARC looks like. It continues to back here, and when you open the book completely, are you kidding me? This is literally my prized possession. I will do anything for this book, and I was so scared that even if I like the cover, what if I don't like the story? But then I read the book, and it is a beautiful story of this valley where if you go to the west, it's in the past, and if you go to the east, it is the future. Our main character is actually studying to become one of the people who sees if they can travel to the past or the future or not. She's going to be the judge of that, but then something happens because of which she comes to know that the love of her life is probably gonna die. Very normal people writing. So if you liked Normal People by Sally Rooney, or you even like her writing style, I think you will love this book. And I just love books where there's love and there's time travel. I'm so excited about the next book. We have The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. This is a story of two sisters, and it's set up in World War II. And I am saying World War II with so much drama because in the last video I talked about how the tragedies set, the sad books set in World War II somehow just hit different for me. I'm so excited that there's actually a book out there based in that timeline, firstly. Secondly, I have been wanting to read something by Kristen Hanna. She's such a popular author. She recently came out with another book which is called The Women, and I have seen the reviews of it and it's crazy, but I wanted to start with this book. I was actually not able to get this book anywhere because on Amazon, now I don't know if it's available or not, but at the time it was available for like 900 plus rupees, and I was just like, wait, why? So I mailed the publisher and I was like, hey, can you help me out with this? Like, till the time it comes back in stock on Amazon, I really want this book. I really want to read it. So can you help me out and send it to me? They sent it to me. I also got a couple of other recommendations from you guys of books that is set in the World War II, and I am so excited to buy all of these books. Next, I got another edition of A Little Life by Hana Yanagihara. It is from the Picador collection and it's beautiful. I tried to do some research to understand who this is, like which character is this supposed to be, but it is apparently an art piece and I do not know the history of the art piece. So I will have to do more research to understand why this is the cover, but I'm so happy to have it. The reason I got it is because Utsav recently read A Little Life from my copy and he was just, you know, tortured. I totally understand when he was reading the book. So he has clutched the book too hard. There are fingerprints on it. He couldn't stop reading it. So he's read it while eating and it was torturous to look at the book like that. I am going to read it from this book and tab this book. Next, we have Martyr by Kaveh Akbar. I really hope I'm taking the name right. This is the story of a guy who has lost his mom and dad, apparently, according to him, for no reason. He got drowned into addictions, but now from the beginning of this book, he has decided that he's gonna get out of it, get out of addictions, and he's going to live life, and he is obsessed with death. I've not finished reading the book yet, but the premise sounds so beautiful. And John Green has said, I kept forgetting to breathe. And I'm just like, is there any other better review, especially by a person like John Green? Somehow the green, the pink, the gray, this is one of the most beautiful covers I have seen in a very long time. Not because, oh, it's so artistic and whatnot, it's just extremely attractive. In the end, we have Crooked Seeds by Karen Jennings, which is set in the post-apartheid time. I have not read books that is set during that time or any book that reflects back on that time, and it is a historical book. I love it, everything that I love. It's also really short, and I really appreciate it sometimes when the books are really short and the text inside is really big. And with that, we come towards the end of the video. Those are all of the books that I have received recently, and I am so grateful for all of them. I am so grateful to be making this video with you guys, and now I actually feel like I have new books that I can look forward to because I've talked to you guys about it and we are friends. If you guys like the video, please do subscribe, like, share. It really helps me. I'll see you guys again very soon. Bye.